Good morning, everyone. I'm just getting myself situated. Looking forward to doing some angel card readings today. And I'm so happy to see each and every one of you. These are for all signs. And today is March 19th, Sunday. And this is the weekly live stream from Fish Out of Water Tarot. The tarot that's designed for fellow fish out of water people, and you know who you are. Um, I guess I could say that social awkwardness is a link between the various people that come my way. And so if you feel like that, you're in the right place. So as we get started today, I want to draw for a theme. So what is it that the universe has for us this morning when it comes to connection? We did that last week. We talked about connection, and I will put a link in the comments below to last week's readings. It was really powerful. We were using the Guardian Angel Tarot deck by Radley Valentine. And so today, Kyle Gray is here with us. And I want to do readings on reconnecting today. Sometimes when you've been ghosted by people and they're not paying attention to you, you really want to feel closeness, but you can't make it happen. So this could be any kind of a broken relationship, or in family, business, or romance. Okay, so let me lay my cards. Perfect. Alrighty. So our first card, and I want to say also I'm Catherine. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself yet. And the cards, I will be putting timestamps and when I'm recording. Good morning, Shahan. How are you? What time is it in your part of the world? I have a feeling that we're on opposite clocks. And today we're doing readings on reconnecting. Last week we did readings on connection in general. So this is about any kind of person that might have you were broken from and you wish you could be reconnected. So the theme, the card that's the theme for today, and we are looking at the Knight. Oh man, sometimes the universe has a way of zapping us, right? Getting our attention. Because if you look at this card, look at the eyes are closed. And the message is, good morning, Sandra. The message is to be brave and honest, but notice how he's standing. And I believe that the universe today wants us to really be brave and honest about what our part has been in any kind of broken relationship. I'm in the States and in the US right now. There's so much arguing that's going on. Everybody's arguing with somebody else, and YouTube is filled with trolls because that's what the internet likes is trolls, and they give them a lot of publicity. And so sometimes in your own family, you can feel like you are in a straitjacket. You can't be yourself because the fear of breaking away or being canceled by somebody in your family or in your relationship. So this one I feel is not so much for romance. I'm feeling that this theme of today is about looking at the other things that have happened in the past where relationships have been broken, and what is your part in it? Can we be brave? Can we be honest with ourselves? I feel like if this Knight had his eyes open, he would be saying, go out, go forth, go out and be brave and honest with others. But because this Knight is in meditation, perhaps preparing himself for battle, that he really is wanting us today. It's a message of being brave and honest with ourselves going forward. Good morning, beautiful Enchanted Mystic Oracle. You guys go check out Enchanted Mystic Oracle. This woman knows her shit. Sorry for the language. Okay, now in the meantime, I got so carried away here with this beautiful card to start us off that I forgot to write down names because I need to kind of train one of my dogs to be my assistant, I think. But we have Jahan, Sandra, Jamie, and somebody else said hi here. 8 o'clock p.m. and it's 10 o'clock a.m. on my side of the world. Thank you, Jahan. If you mentioned yourself being here and I didn't say your name, if you could tell me again, I appreciate it. Sometimes I get lost with the cards and I kind of forget to do my other part. But anyway, the theme for today, for those of you that are new, I'm Catherine. Welcome to Fish Out of Water Tarot. And we're working today with people who have um, there's a broken relationship somewhere. You've been abandoned, betrayed, or left out of something. My gut feeling is that this is more about our personal friendships and family relationships than it is romance. However, if you're here and want um, to feel like you can enhance your romantic life, I'm sure the cards will provide that for you. So let me sip my coffee while it's still warm. Mm. Okay, so Jahan, you're here first. Let's grab a card for you. And you know what? Thank you to you guys who are coming back to support me week after week. I can't tell you how much it means to me, honestly. Makes me feel emotional because it's the cards and it's the magic of mutual inspiration and the fact that all of us share certain emotions. And when we come together on a call like this, hi Emporio, when we come together on a call like this, we all support one another because feeling connected and feeling like you belong somewhere is such a positive experience. So, Shahan, and we're looking at She Wolf today. Oh my goodness, Shahan. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is in this reading, gender doesn't really matter because we all have feminine energy and masculine energy. And one of the things that I've noticed over time doing cards and in my own personal life with working with clients for literally years is that if you've been single a long time, you can have an overdeveloped masculine or an overdeveloped feminine if you need to depend on yourself. But what people don't realize is those can be distortions where you're not really able to I got you on the list, Emporio. They're distortions so that you can almost be too masculine or too feminine, whether you're a man or a woman or however you identify. So with this card, Shahan, it's showing that there is a need for your divine feminine to be strengthened. I'm going to make myself a note. I have an article that I actually wrote on how to enhance the divine feminine, and I will put that in the comments below. Because Shahan, I really suggest you grab that article. There's like 20 different ways you can enhance your feminine energy. There's something that it looks like there's something you need to do that you're feeling almost, like devoured by something. There's a power that's going on around you in your mind where you're feeling a little overwhelmed. But what the truth is that if you have an imbalance of energy, somebody could be taking advantage of that. So, enhancing that feminine, divine feminine energy could be very helpful for you. And if you need to make a decision, see if you can pause until you feel a little bit more stable. So, I will add that article, and I strongly suggest that you take a peek at it because your feminine is really strong. We don't realize that, and our culture doesn't help us embrace it. But for you, I believe that the divine is showing you that the dark night you're facing is you're being supported. Okay. And the next we have Sandra or Sandra, whichever. I think you're from the Midwest, Sandra, aren't you, if I recall? Those of you who are here, if you'd like to have me draw a card for you, just put your name or just drop me a comment. I'll add you to the list. And we're moving on to Sandra here. What do the cards have for Sandra? Hi, Gail. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Let me put your name down on my list. Okay, what a wonderful card for you, Sandra. The medicine guardian, be open to healing information. So the first thing that I can't help but notice is how much green is in this card. And green, of course, is the color of your heart chakra. I know a lot of people think, isn't it pink? Because pink is the color of love. But no, actually, there's no pink in the chakra system. But in the green, though, this really, even the wings are green. So this shows me that you have had some heartbreaking experiences. There's things that have gone on in your life, Sandra, that have left you, I am feeling like the word stoic, because look at the angel's face. It's the face is not grieving, but it's not joyous either. And so it just looks stoic, like you just take a licking and keep on ticking. It's no matter what happens, you keep walking forward. But as you've done that, you've kind of gotten frozen in place somewhere in your emotions. And so the medicine guardian here today is here to remind you that healing is possible, but only when you welcome it in. Last week, I used Louise Hay as a reference, and I continue to use Louise Hay. She's now passed away, but there are literally hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos with her voice, very healing voice. And Sandra, I think one of her meditations on the inner child might be very helpful for you, because I have a feeling that you've seen patterns of behavior over your whole lifetime. And you are strong, you people see you as strong, but too much stoicism can kind of disguise, it's like a numbness or an avoidance rather than healing. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Oh, by the way, you all, if when you get your reading, if you have questions, you can email me at tarotinfoplease@gmail.com, because I would love to hear from you, and it helps me more personally connect. So please do email me if you have any questions about these little readings, okay? Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. It just shows me that we're on the right track, that you enjoy these readings. Hit the subscribe button so that you'll be notified next time I come on. Okay, who do we have next? We have Jamie. Jamie said she'd be right back, so I'm going to skip her for a minute. I'm not sure she's back. You're welcome, Sandra. Big hug to you. I'm just going to go to Emporia, and then when Jamie comes back, I will hit Jamie. And so Emporia, gosh, this card really wanted to come to you. I was going to go like this, and it went, no, this is the one. And we have Spring. Wow. Okay, let me take a look at this one. This is a new deck for me too. Oh, wow. This is really intriguing to me, Emporia. And what I'm seeing here, of course, in the northern hemisphere where I'm living right now, it's spring. And so I wonder where you're from and what time of year it is for you. It could have a couple of meanings here. So it could mean that there is a reconnection that's coming, that this spring you have been working on forgiving people, you've been working at changing your perspective. There's a part of you that really wants to grow. In fact, spring is another word for jump. And so when I see this decision that that part of you just jumped into action recently, where you were taking more responsibility. If you weren't here the first part of the reading, if you peek at that card back there, it was the Knight, and it was the idea of taking a look at ourselves and being honest and brave. And I feel like for you, Emporia, you've been doing that. You are taking advantage of the time you have to take some looks at yourself and owning the part of whatever disconnected you from this person. That's what I'm sensing. And that it's taken time to develop, but that your seeds are growing. Now, what can you do if you have a person that you really want to connect to, somebody in your family that maybe you haven't seen in years? Take a moment. Everybody who's listening, take a moment, please. Take a breath. I'm going to say something that may sound funny to you. Hello, Tanya. Welcome. I'm going to say something that may feel funny to some of you, but I like to share it because it's something that's happened to me for years. Right, right now, as I'm asking you to bring up a family member that you're broken from. So the first person that comes to your mind, that's the right person. But I'm actually burping, and thank you for telling me, Emporio, what's happening where you. It's on the other side of the world. But I'm having these little burps that are like stuck in my chest, in my upper chest. And I do move energy for the people I read for. It's happened forever. I might yawn, I get achiness in my jaw, and this feeling in the upper chest that definitely is showing a block. So some of you listening to this right now, you're feeling pressure at the bottom of your throat, the bottom of your neck, and the top part of your chest. How do I know that? Because I'm feeling pressure there. You don't have to identify yourself. Spirit knows who you are. But when you have somebody in your family who you long to see, they won't let you in. It's very difficult. So, this pressure that in fact, you might want to reach up right now and just put your hand, your fingers into thank you, Jamie. Your card comes next. Put your hand up to the top of your chest and see if you can find that notch in your chest at the very top of your sternum, and then just press in to not into the notch, but press into the top of your sternum there, where your collar, the end of your collarbone, because sometimes that will relieve that pressure that you're feeling in your chest and throat, because it's not easy when someone won't talk to you. But I heard something recently that was such a great idea about how to pray for someone or how to reconnect invisibly. And that is this: you imagine the person in your mind, the person who you feel broken from, and then imagine yourself whispering in their ear, "You can do this. You're stronger than you think you are." It's a powerful exercise. Part of you won't want to do it, but the part of you that's nudging you to be listening to this reading today wants you to use your time while you're waiting to engage with the person in the invisible. So if there's someone in your family, and this is for Emporio, if there's somebody in your family that you desire to be connected to, pull up their face, their person. Thank you, Dorcas. I have you down. Imagine yourself behind them, whispering in their ear, "You can do this. I know you can make it." It's a great way to reconnect with someone on your way to a real life reunion. Okay, that one kind of went off on its own way. And thank you for those of you who have joined. I'm going to do as many readings as I can this morning. If you just shoot me your comment, and I'll know to put you on the list, and I'll do my best to make everybody happy. Be sure to click the thumbs up if you're here so that I know that's kind of like a hug, an invisible hug. So my heart goes out in gratitude to all y'all. I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot, and it's especially for people who feel a little bit of social awkwardness, a little bit of introversion, shyness, and you have a little bit of difficulty connecting with people. The theme of the day, you're welcome, Jamie. The theme of today is reconnecting with someone who is broken with you. And the call for us is to be brave and honest with our own ownership of what's happened in the drama. So, with no further ado, let's go to Jamie's card. Jamie and I share the burden and the blessing of being double Scorpios. And even how we met is kind of unique. And actually, we're hoping to do readings together sometime in the future. And I'm calling you out, Jamie, and I know you want to do this too. But we share so much in common with wanting to help people connect. You're welcome, Emporio. And so this one is Jamie's. And Jamie, let's take a peek here. Okay, we have the arrow card. All right. This is so true, isn't it? This one's about the arrow card. Again, talk about taking responsibility for ourselves. Surround yourself with protective energy. So I feel like, Jamie, what this is saying is that it's just so easy. And she and I have had talks about this. We do readings for each other. We love that. But the idea of being with people who are not uh, putting your highest good first. This could happen in an employment situation where all of a sudden, in fact, sometimes when I look at employment, I think of it similar to dating, because when you decide to take a new position, you don't know them. It's like having a crush, right? And then the first 2 or 3 months, all of a sudden you see what's going on. You're like, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? And so it's easy to blame the people in our environment when we're feeling uneasy. But the key today is surround yourself with protective energy. And I like how this arrow is pointing right to our theme card, the Knight, being brave and honest. So I like to tell people that they should have what I call an energy first aid kit, where they have a list of maybe 3 to 5 ideas for how to lift their own spirits. It could be taking an herbal bath of some kind. It could be committing to taking a walk every day, which is I try to get at least 2 miles a day in if I can. And this kind idea of doing self-care. And when I'm outside, I don't worry. I have a worry problem. I'm going to say that out loud. Some people are saying, "Don't say it." Don't say what you don't want. And the manifesting world goes a little crazy sometimes, but you have to be real with what you're dealing with. And that's part of ownership. Because if I am carrying too much worry energy, people are going to walk on eggshells around me because they'll pick it up. And then they're going to think, what am I doing to make her worry? And that's a mess. So we really do need to stand straight, straight, straight with that arrow, keep our backbone straight for between us and our connection with the divine. Don't blame anybody for anything. And I know that you may not intend to have a blaming energy, Jamie, because none of us do. But just the type of world we're living in right now, where everyone's eager to jump on the bandwagon and blame someone else. So if you're starting something new, you really do need to make sure you are rooted and grounded in what you know to be true. That way, if you need to speak up about something, it'll come out of that. If this is resonant with you, some of you listening, this message might be resonant. What's happening there? Have you ever heard the saying, birds of a feather flock together? It is so true. And YouTube, even though it's not a perfect venue, does make it possible for people to come together with like hearts and like needs. So this is wonderful. I think that all these straight lines on here. Oh gosh, see these lines here? Let me use my pen. This reminds me of my favorite way to live in this world, and that is stay in your lane, right? Stay in your lane. And if you have your boundaries clear, what you will do at work and what you won't, what you're willing to compromise in your family, what you won't, then you will prosper. Staying in your lane is the magic. Okay, Jamie, excellent. I hope that message resonated with you, my friend. And you guys who are watching, please do keep tuned. I will put a message into my community. But Enchanted, I can't ever remember your full name on there, Mystic Oracle. Jamie and I are going to be reading cards together real soon. So you're not going to want to miss that. Enchanted Mystic Oracle. Thank you and thank you. Okay, next we have Gail. And I think I'm up to speed with everyone here. I have Latanya and Dorcas also. If you're new joining us, please do just pop me a message and I will draw a card for you. Thank you so much for visiting me here at Fish Out of Water Tarot. If you want to send me an email and tell me anything that's going on that relates to your reading, I would love that. It's tarotinfoplease@gmail.com. And let's see here. Jahan, I can see you writing me stuff in there, and I will take a peek at it later when I can read it, but feel free to email me too. It'd be great to hear what's going on. All right, and we are here for Gail. Gail, Don't you love these cards, you guys? They're just gorgeous. Okay, now immediately when I flipped this card, I did have that pressure feeling back in my throat, and I'm burping again. And I don't mean to gross y'all out, but I do want to tell you, we are so connected. And even in this world today where there's so much upheaval and people are angry with one another, when we get together in this kind of venue where it's comfortable and we all are sharing this common desire for unity, it makes a difference. My body responding to your blocks may be something that you're not used to seeing, but it shows me the value of connecting with you because I have stuck energy too. Rose, hi Rose. Everybody has stuck energy. That's no, that's no shame. There's no problem with that. I mean, it's part of life. It's kind of like getting a haircut. You have to get your hair cut now and then. Same thing with your energy. You just have to clear it out now and then. And that's what these readings are helpful with. So what we're doing here, we have Gail. And so Gail, we have the Earth Guardian. And again, we are seeing a lot of green in this card, and green being the color of the throat chakra. And also, I can't help but notice the gem, the green gem at the third eye. And I just feel like there's been some burden that, gosh, Gail, I don't know what's going on for you, but I feel like there's some burden. I just look at the face, the hand at the heart. Maybe there's been a lot of prayer for someone. And again, if you are feeling separate from someone in your family or a friend you long to speak to, I'm kind of feeling that energy here. And so, what I would say to you is that the idea of being rooted and grounded is really important. The last card, you might want to listen. I think you were here for Jamie's reading, but the whole idea of staying in your lane, what is your lane? Sometimes you might feel like you're on the freeway and there's no lane markers at all, and you don't know which way which way you should go, right? And there's a feeling, maybe there's a feeling of loyalties, like if you make a decision, somebody will be angry because you're being disloyal. Does that resonate with you? But the idea of keeping your own feet on the ground, what do you believe is true? So I did mention earlier on about nurturing the divine feminine. I'm going to put in the comments below, I'll add an article you can read with some very practical ideas for drawing a little bit more divine feminine to you, and it might help you here because you need to be sure of yourself first before you present your ideas to someone else. I would definitely do some writing, maybe some journaling to just almost interview yourself. Gail, excellent. Have you ever done what I call left hand, right hand journaling? There's a lady, I can't remember her name. Her first name is Lucia, I think. And she wrote a book about using your non dominant hand for healing. And so, what you can do is you can journal with each hand, where your non dominant hand, which for me would be my left hand, I ask questions of my right hand. I know it might seem odd, but it really is enlightening. And so, because your handwriting is so weak with your non dominant hand, as you interview, you'll feel childlike and you won't feel very skilled. The reason that that's magical is because the brain never has to use the non dominant hand for writing, right? And so when you're using your brain to process what it takes to write with your non dominant hand, it allows parts of your brain to light up and bring forward some memories and experiences that you can clear. So give it a try and do email me if you have questions about this technique. I'm happy to share. It's tarotinfoplease@gmail.com. Okay. But there's so much love for you, Gail. This card has so much love and concern from this Earth Guardian. And it also makes me think that you need to spend more time outside. I mentioned before, it's hard for me to worry when I'm outside. And I take a lot of walks. I try to walk a couple miles a day and breathe the air deeply and look at nature and the gratitude that I feel for being alive and living in a beautiful spot generally lifts me pretty quickly. So I can take this card in also. You are so welcome, Gail, and I'm glad you were here this morning. Thank you, thank you. Okay, we have next Latanya. Hi, Latanya. Welcome. Let's see what the cards have for Latanya today. And how about this one right here? All righty, Latanya, welcome back. I'm glad that you're here today. Very interesting. Ooh, look at this beautiful card. Look at that. Do you have tattoos, Latanya? Beautiful. Okay, Hunter, track down your fears and desires. So this makes me think of Capricorn because of the horns. No tattoos. Okay, thank you for sharing. But that makes me this for the first thing that I notice on this card is like those two horns, right? So the ram horn and the deer. So it shows to me okay, let me just take it all in. What strikes me as I look at this card is in the intensity of the eyes and fearlessness. Yes. Oh yeah, Aries, Ram. Okay, good. Thank you. Absolutely. That idea of the ram and also the deer and the tattoos. I mean, there's so much about this figure that it's like too much, right? He would be powerful with any of those symbols. With the tattoos would symbolize something, the horns, the antlers would symbolize, and then the bow. So there's an intensity here, and what I'm sensing, Latonia, is that your fears and your doubts about things may be holding you frozen in place. Okay. Because if you look at this photo, he's frozen in place. He's ready, but there's no arrow in his hand. Where's his other hand? Right? His other hand is not, he's not ready to launch that arrow. So what I'm thinking is for you, if we're our theme for today, oh, I just got that pressure again. If anybody's feeling pressure in your upper chest or lower throat, that you're having a block, okay, the energy is speaking to you. So you can put your hand right wherever it's hurting, aching, whatever you're feeling, just go ahead and put your hand there and press a little bit. But it's definitely going to help you to track down your fears, your own fears about reconnecting with someone. It does look like you may have so much intensity, a desire to reconnect with somebody that it's just pulling at you and it's not letting you take action. And that might be, when you look at the intensity in his eyes, that might be part of it. So, what I would do is grab a journal, just a piece of paper, and think of your person. Think of a person in your family that you wish you could reconnect with, and then just jot down everything about that person that you find difficult or annoying, or if they've hurt your feelings, and just write it all down. I need to do this. I'm going to make myself a note because we all have family members that have disappointed us in some way, unless you're like 1 minute old. But just write down everything that you can think of that bothers you about the person. And then I would create a fire ceremony or shred the paper and or burn the paper as a symbol, safely of course, as a symbol of your readiness to release that person's, I'm going to use the word crimes. Okay, so release the crimes of the person. Oh gosh, thank you, Latanya. But it's like, as you write down everything that, does that person have tats? But as you write down everything that they have done to disappoint you, then it's a process of getting it out of you onto paper. And then I'm going to suggest that you use I call it a magic word or magic phrases, even though. Okay, so even though I'm feeling the separation from so and so, I choose today to let God work in it. Even though this person has caused me so much pain and distress, I choose today to let that go. Even though my person is causing me so much anxiety, the truth is my confidence is in the divine. You hear how those sound? Isn't that cool? If you are, be sure to email me if you want more info on that. I can shoot you back a couple of ideas. But using even though and stating the truth of what you're facing, and then add an affirmation of what feels better to you can be a real good way to work through this. Also, the idea again of taking ownership of anything that you or me, anything we have done that's been part of the problem. Okay? Maybe having kind of some deep can we have a, I can't read that right now. Hang on, let me see if I can move my, let's move that a little bit. Okay, see here if I can see that. Okay, I didn't, you know what, if you could email me that of questions, that will help me a lot because then I can focus on you. Tarotinfo, please, at gmail.com, okay? Bless you, Latanya. I know these broken things can be difficult, but I know also that as we stand straight and stay in our own lane, you're welcome, Latanya. As you just pursue your divine call, pursue what it is that you can do. There's always something we can do. And if you can't figure out what to do, let me give you one of the most exciting, energetic truth that I know. When you are stuck, clean something out that's cluttered. I am not kidding. Could be a junk drawer in your house, could be a closet, could be the trunk of your car, it could be your refrigerator, your freezer, anywhere where you've accumulated a lot of junk. If you clean out something, it fills the time, you won't worry, and you create room for spirit to move in your life. It's so easy. It's scary, right? Fill a trash bag with stuff, fill a donation bag with things. It always works energetically. Okay, next we have Dorcas. Dorcas, let's draw a card for you. Again, if you're here just visiting, I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot. I'd be happy to draw you a card today. We're working on getting messages about brokenness in our family. If we've been ghosted, if there's a person we really want to reconnect with, what do the cards have to advise? And for Dorcas, we have the moon. Okay, let me take a look at it. Oh, interesting. So this right away, the first thing I see is the cycles, right? The moon cycles continually. This card for me is, I'm calling it the truth teller card because when you're waiting for things to change in the human world, so for example, let's say you have wanted restoration with a family member and you have been praying, you've been visualizing, you've been saying affirmations, and you're not seeing any progress at all. When nature can help us heal is to watch cycles because the moon is a constant example of steadiness and cycles. It comes and it goes. We have a new moon coming on the 21st, and the new moon, there are so many wonderful people online that do new moon meditations. So you can, maybe I should do one of those someday, but to put out something for you so that you can listen and meditate with the energy of a new moon. It's so good for planting new ideas, for allowing yourself to take in a new plan. Okay. So, and also, though, sometimes the moon can suggest that there's some confusion because when the moon did disappear from the late night, from the night sky in antiquity, thousands of years ago, if whenever the moon disappeared, the people didn't have the knowledge or technology to understand it was coming back. So it does suggest like this inherent deep confusion that we've been carrying for generations. And so what you need to realize is that your intuition is the part that speaks to you when you need an answer. The irony is the intuition speaks through the body. You get a clench, a squeeze, something inside of you says no. And it's more of a physical feeling than a mental feeling. And many of us who have had to depend on our intellect because our lives were very dramatic when we were children. So if you grew up in a dramatic household of any type, you might have lifelong confusion because the people that you were living with were acting like crazy people. And so you have confusion about what it's like. Hi, Vanessa. Oh, good to see you back. And Dorcas, this is your reading here, girl. Yeah, I hope, girl. Sorry, I didn't want to insult. But what this is showing, though, is that your intuition wants to speak to you. Remember, your intuition speaks through your body. If your tummy, if your stomach gets tight, if your throat feels a squeeze, these are signs that say stop and pay attention. Does it mean necessarily that something's wrong? No, but it means don't go forward without thinking carefully what you're going to do. Okay, so don't force yourself to do things that are out of your comfort zone. Take responsibility for anything that you've done. What are your behaviors that you have done that have contributed to the problem? And just be willing to wait because it cycles. And a person that you're missing right now may need to be in that dark night while they're trying to find your way. Okay, so Vanessa, the theme of today's readings is about disconnection. So you're in the right place. Those of you who are new, I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot. It's for people who do maybe shy, maybe they're shy, introverted, maybe a little socially awkward, and they find themselves in a lot of confusion when it comes to relationships and how to cope. So, Dorcas, I hope that you enjoy this message. I would say because this is coming so close to the new moon, definitely YouTube, Google some new moon rituals or meditations. There's tons of them out there. I would definitely do that, and any of the rest of you who can relate to this. So, let's see. Next, we have Rose. So, let me take a sip of my coffee. Excellent. All right. So let's see, Rose, what is it that the universe has for us today for Rose? This card looks perfect. Okay, Rose, Fire Guardian. Let's take a look. Let me pull this over so I can see it good. Okay. Oh, wow. Beautiful. Okay. So it looks to me, my dear Rose, that there has been surrender here. Oh, excellent, Dorcas. I'm so glad you were able to be here this morning. So, what I'm noticing is it almost looks like there's a look of playfulness in this angel's face. This angel's not carrying the concern that I saw in the other cards. And I'm also aware of this this looks like a pentacle coin, the coin that's just floating over that hand, almost as if he's tossing it from hand to hand. Okay, so what this is showing me is that this may be okay. So our theme for today is when somebody has cut you off, or there's been a loss of either a friendship, or this almost looks like a business situation. There's a strength here, and I'm seeing this as being another person right now for you, Rose. I see that this figure is representing somebody that you admire, that there's someone who seems to have their life in order. They feel, you look at them and you're sensing to yourself, wow, look how easily this person is living. But you know what? I'm sensing that's not, excuse me, how do you say that? What you see is not what's really there. Like you have a perception, you have an interpretation of this person, and you may be even feeling a sense of being less than because you admire this person. But you know what I see? First of all, what's this wing doing? What is that wing doing? It's completely out of alignment. Don't angels' wings normally go like that? And also the fact that they're juggling that pentacle. I feel like, hi, Meg, I'll put you on the list. I feel like this person that you're admiring has more issues than you're aware of, and that they may be very good at staying calm, and they have a lot of charisma. So when you're watching them, you're feeling, gosh, this person has it all together, but they don't. They have a lot that they're hiding. Okay, so what does this mean for you? Ignite your passions. So take your eye away from this person. The amount of attention, the amount of energy that you're focusing on this person is stealing from you. So there's something you could be doing. Again, the last card we were talking about cleaning out a closet, right? Um, I would highly suggest this for you. Whatever is cluttered in your life, I don't care if it's a bookshelf, take time and put some things in order. Make two piles, one to throw away, the other to donate. Because once you start clearing some clutter in your life, your passions are going to ignite. We can't pin all of our joy on the behavior of another human. We can't, I mean, we shouldn't pin our joy to anything except what we are generating through our spiritual reality. I do believe we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And if we get too focused on another frail human, instead of keeping our focus on what the divine has for us, we can get really stuck. Okay. I think that I'm so curious about this person, Rose. So take care. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Your intuition is definitely guiding you. Don't be uh, don't be afraid of feeling like that clench around your heart or in your belly. It's just meaning stop, pay attention, look around, what's going on before you act. Okay, Rose? These are kind of deep readings here for you today for my dear family, my family of tarot livers. Vanessa, I love this. So again, Vanessa, thank you so much for saying that. She was saying, for those of you who are listening only, that the idea is that we are all linked together, and the energy of being deserted by someone, being abandoned, or sensing that somebody close to us has hurt us is all, it's common experience. We all have it. But the idea, I'm just going to pull this card forward again because this was our theme for today, for those of you who are joining me now, is that when we're trying to go forward and manifest a better life for ourselves, we do have to be honest with ourselves. Notice how this knight has the eyes closed, and he's not ready to go out and fight anybody. He needs to decide what is his truth. And we have to be honest with what our contribution has been towards any problem. Okay, so those of you that are new here, if this is your first time here, welcome so much. I'm Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot. And those of you who are coming back week after week, my heart is overflowing with love for you guys. You've made such a difference in my life. Why do I do these cards? Because I need every bit of this advice. We are all in this together. And don't think that just because I happen to do this online, draw my cards in front of y'all, I have the same insecurities and temptations to fall into doubt and fear as anybody does. But I also, through, oh gosh, living this for years, for sure, seeing the universe show up time and time again for me personally. For example, just a quick example, um, I needed a new dog leash. Because I lost a dog leash because I was taking a walk in nature and I lost one because sometimes I let my dogs off. Well, wouldn't you know it? Pretty welcome. Um, the what do you know? One of my neighbors says, "Oh, I have a dog leash. I'm not using anymore. Do you want to have it?" Right? I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times, and I'm not talking like gazillions of dollars, although I've been asked on a free cruise. In fact, two times in my lifetime Somebody offered me a free cruise. I'm not kidding. I've had strange, wonderful things over time, and I want to share my life and what my ideas are because I think, love you too, Preeti. I think that we're all able to receive stuff, things that come, kindness, gifts. People can hand you money, no kidding. But part of it is our ability to receive and to be willing to stay patient if we're waiting for things. Family background, being tied up in knots because somebody in your family is not relating to you, can really stop the flow. And so that's what we're doing these readings for. Thank you for letting me say that. And Vanessa, welcome. So, okay, so you just had a breakup like last night. Ouch. Be sure to email me tarotinfo, please, at gmail.com. And I would love to be able to guide you a little bit with what you're seeing here on this reading. Let me clarify this card if you need, okay? Anyway, thank you for hitting thumbs up, you guys. It means the world to me. It shows me that I should be doing more live readings because you're enjoying it. I could do it on a different day of the week too, maybe, not just Sunday. All right, where are we? Vanessa. Okay, Vanessa. What card? This one. Oh, Vanessa, excellent. I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, so, wow. Okay, whoa, Vanessa, this is deep. Okay, let's take a breath. Anybody ever had a breakup? Let's all raise our hands. I just got goosebumps all over my whole body. So, Vanessa, thank you for standing in the gap with those of us who have, I got goosebumps just flowing. Take a breath. Okay. It's interesting that we're pulling this beautiful card. It's a male figure. And look at how half of the face is blue. Most of this card is blue. I look at those two, I think he probably has pyramids on his shirt because those 2 points are pointing up. Yes, so the blue, of course, is the color of our throat chakra, speaking our truth. So I think, Vanessa, that you have such sincerity about finding the divine path for your life. I don't think there's any doubt that those of you who are listening to the reading today, all of you who are tuning in, you are walking on the path of personal development. Okay, so the very first thing I would ask you, Vanessa, and don't answer, it's just a private question for you. Is your person on the personal development path? A lot of people I talk to, when I ask that question, they go, nope. And that's part of the issue. Can you be with someone who doesn't resonate with your heart truly at the deepest level? The other thing is, it just looks like there's bruising. And I look at this figure and I look at the left side of his face and I see that blue. I just feel like the person that you're dealing with is bruised and has bruised feelings and is carrying that wounded energy, perhaps a little victim energy. And so it seems to me that all we can do is to honor our inner voice and be really honest with yourself. There is a voice that's trying to speak and guide you. Your soul purpose is trying to surface. And the difficulties that you're having with this person, it's kind of like freezing you in place. The sharpness of the pyramids at the bottom, it just keep looking back at that whatever's happening right now is painful, totally painful, but there's something in it that's so important and deep for you. When we're looking at star ancestor, we're looking at generations past, and we're also looking at connections to otherworldly energies, if that's where your belief system takes you, if you're open to that. There is Egyptian energy on this card that may be important to you, but I would say that it's an okay thing for you to have this happen. I'm not sure that came out right, but there's a lot of sharpness and there's also a lot of inability to speak truth. The blue in this just shows me, I think, that you're having difficulty telling your truth and possibly him too. So, Preeti, oh, I'm sorry, but don't worry about it because it'll be recorded and you can listen to it again. And for those of you listening, I'm going to timestamp this so you can find readings. But I would say that this issue, Vanessa, is bigger than you think it is. And it's important that you follow your intuition deeply and get connected. Use this time of separation. If this is a permanent breakup, you'll know it. But I would not rush back into anything here because I think that your divine soul purpose is needing clarity. Okay. Now, those of you, some of you will hear your reading here and you may want to have a deeper reading. I don't have a whole lot of time on my schedule right now, but I will do the best I can to match your needs with personal readings. Just, excuse me, email me at tarotinfo, please, at gmail.com, and we can talk about that. And I do have a lot of pressure, again, in my upper chest, and I'm burping. I always giggle when I say that, but when people are gathering with me that have similar difficulties, I feel in my chest the pressure of the block that you're feeling. So even as you're listening to the readings, you might yawn, you might shiver, you might get this achiness in your upper chest or radiating up your jawline. You may feel some pain in your jaw. This is all symptoms of blocks. Isn't that cool? And when you start feeling them as you're hearing my voice or working with the cards, if you just reach up and put your hand on a place that you're feeling pressure and you're actually moving blocks for yourself. Isn't that cool? Okay, so next thing, thank you, Vanessa. I'm so glad to see you back. And don't wait, reach out. And we have Mega next, I think. I'm not sure I'm saying your name right, but let's pick a card. Oh, thank you. I like to put apple cider vinegar in my water. I do drink it, but that's excellent. But you know what? It's so situational. It's not unpleasant. It just over years, I mean, over 20 years, this has been happening to me. And I think a lot of time when people are belching, they may be moving energy and they don't even know it because they're feeling like it's because of something they ate. But mine comes and goes so much when I'm doing readings. It's just, I know what's going on. But I love that idea. And thank you. I could add some to my tea. Okay, so we have Mega. Let's see for Mega. Oh, there you are. Excellent. Let's see what our card is for you today. Ooh, nice. Ah, oh, thank you for helping me, Mega. Okay, so the White Witch card. Take a breath. Ah. Very interesting. So, Mega, what I think is going on is that I'm sensing that you are exactly in the right place at the right time because you are a person who's shy and an introverted. And I do draw a lot of shy, introverted people in my world. I am shy and introverted, and some people say, no, you're not. I can be more outgoing when I need to be, but I love my own company. When I am in nature by myself, I'm happiest. Okay, so even though a part of me wants to be deeply connected, I've been single for 8 years, but a part of me wants connection. Another part of me says, no, thank you. I really love being single, and I feel that until I'm sure I'm to open my life to another human, I'm just going to enjoy what I have right now. No one micromanaging me. I get to live how I want to live, and I'm really loving that. So the first thing I'm seeing, Mega, is that you probably need to spend some time outside. You may have a special connection with owls. When an owl, or excuse me, when any animal shows up for you in a reading or in real life, it's a good idea to Google um, spiritual meaning of owl, or fill in the blank with your animal, because you will be very surprised and delighted by what you read about the spiritual meaning of owl, the wise old owl, right? This card is calling you to recognize, Mega, that people look up to you. I think that might be a surprise. I would think you might, part of you might go, they look up to me. They've got the wrong person. But no, there's something about your quiet nature, the fact that you are a little on the shy side, but you're so intelligent, and that people look at you and think, what's going on there? Who is she? What is she about? So don't be afraid to shine and be who you are created to be. You don't have to be like anyone else. What you are needing is to believe in yourself. Okay. So, one of the things, again, I'll recommend, just so wonderful. The lady's name is Louise Hay, and there you can YouTube her. She's not with us anymore. She passed away several years ago, but her meditations on self-concept, the inner child, how to be your full self, are just excellent. You can't go wrong. Okay, Mega? Remember that you're not called to be Catherine. You're not called to be anyone else. You might enjoy reading the cards yourself, and that's wonderful. But stepping into who you are and what you're really good at, it's the time for that. Don't be afraid of walking forward. Okay. And if you look up the meaning of the word owl, or the spiritual meaning of the word owl, and I think you're going to find a good message there. And it might be, Mega, it might be that there's something in your life that you're ready to let go of. The owl can symbolize, I'm pretty sure that there's a death meaning for owl too that can scare people. But much like Scorpio, Scorpio's card is the death card. And early in my knowledge of tarot, I would be afraid of it because I thought, oh, what does that mean? But now what I realize is that a part of me is being shed. You know how a snake sheds its skin, that there's a part of my personality, or a part of my desires, or a part of how I think that needs to go. It's not serving me anymore. And I'm kind of picking that energy for you too, Mega, that there's something going on that you can, a bad habit or some thinking that you can let go of right now. Okay, so go look up owl. I think it'll be a blessing, and I'm so glad you're here. Okay, Pretty, I'm now Pretty. I hope, I don't know if you're here or not because of the internet difficulties, but I will draw this card. Oh, you're welcome, Meg. I'm so glad that you're here today. Thank you so much. Okay, so Pretty, we have the High Priestess. Okay, let's take a look. Beautiful, beautiful. I can't figure out what she's holding in her hand. It's very interesting. I wonder if it's some sort of an amulet or some sort of spiritual tool. Okay, so this card kind of fits with the theme that we're working on today so far. There's been several of you that have had cards calling you to use your intuition. And this is a card of, again, using your intuition. I've spoken a couple times today about the fact that your intuition speaks through your body. Your intuition does not form into a thought in your brain. Okay, let me say that again. Your intuition does not speak through a thought in your brain. Your intuition speaks through your body. When you break out in a cold sweat, right? When you cringe because somebody had says something to you that hurt your feelings and you cringe, or you walk through the market and you see your ex and your heart stops. All of those feelings are your intuition. If you think that your intuition is a thought, you're going to be confused because our mind is about perception, and you can make thoughts that really are not logical. May I use an example? Yes. Okay. With my mom has passed away now, and we did have a chance to make peace at the end of her life, which not many people have that chance. And maybe I'll talk about that more on a different video. But the fact that during her lifetime, when I heard her voice on the phone, I would cringe. My own mom, she would call me. When I heard her voice, my body would get tight, my throat would get tight, my chest, I would cringe on the inside. Everything would squeeze. This is my own mother. So, sometime during my lifetime, there was a switch where the person's voice who used to soothe and comfort me became an irritant. I don't know why that happened, but this can really mess with your mind as an adult and help. It's hard to get used to it. Excuse me, it's hard to recognize your intuition speaking because your body, it's hard for me to explain, but if your body is used to cringing for the wrong reason, right? Like my example with my mom's voice, the fact that I would cringe with that, it's like a body confusion. I did have therapy years ago. I'd use tapping, energy tapping, EFT, which I love. And the cards themselves have constantly given me inspiration to get myself balanced so that I can trust my body speaking the language of intuition. If this is intriguing to you and you want to reach out, please email me at tarotinfo, please, at gmail.com, because this is a high interest area for me. And I love to talk to people if they can relate to what I'm saying. So, what this is for you, Priti, I would say, look at this black cat. Now, black cat in American culture, is a scary. It's like a, a warning. Like nobody likes black cats. They make people afraid. There's something wrong. But yet, look at this queen. Reminds me of the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands in the tarot deck is a go forward. Move forward and own your space. Own where you are. And coupled with the high priestess, this just shows that you're ready for more than you think you are. Even though some people would turn away from a black cat and leave, there's a part of you that wants to go forward. Look at how the wings are flowing forward. So there's momentum that's carrying you. What you need to do is really trust those inner feelings. If you get any kind of physical reaction when you're asked to do something, just pause and think about it before you act. Anytime your intuition gets your attention, which for me is like, it could be an ache in your belly, it could be tightness in your chest, it could be a squeeze of your throat, your ears can hurt, your jaws can hurt. All of those are intuitive signs that something needs your attention. So just being able to stop for a second, think about it, choose carefully before you move forward. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. I'm so glad y'all were here, had a wonderful time doing these readings. I'm just going to pull one more card for us to close the reading, and then I'll see you next week. Maybe earlier. If you love it, let me know. I'll do more of these live readings. And our closing card is Direction Guardian. Oh, look, isn't this cool? Love it, love it, love it. So this one reminds me of the World card for sure, because there's 4 animals on the World card, and also the circle behind. Oops, I'm sorry. The circle behind here suggests the world, and it reminds me of stepping out into a new way of doing things. I just love it. And again, when we look at this figure, the eyes are not seeing anything. So oh, thank you for telling me it's an Ankh-shaped mirror. Thank you, Vanessa. I appreciate your assistance. So what this is saying to us is, look at all the wings that are here. Anybody who's hearing this call, the angels have your back. You are choosing a new path for yourself. And it's so important that you feel that energy of your intuition. This is how the divine speaks to us, through the body. If you're not feeling comfortable, you're going to know it. Some people lose their appetite when they're upset. They cannot eat. Other people eat too much when they're upset, right? But your body is continually trying to communicate with you. And so, in closing, the reading is saying to us, trust, own what your part is in any kind of betrayals or abandonments that you've had. Clear the air through some techniques, perhaps journaling, perhaps tapping. Again, I've suggested a few times the YouTube videos with Louise Hay. I completely recommend. Wonderful, wonderful woman with so many videos. Her voice is magnetizing. She believes many of our problems come from being detached from our inner child and the desires of our heart. And she's very good at remedying that. The new moon is coming, so do look up on YouTube for new moon meditations. And if you would like to have me do a new moon meditation, drop me an email. Let me know. If enough people want that, I would love to do it. And I just love hearing from you. It makes me feel the full circle moment of these readings and the recordings. So have a beautiful week. I will see you next Sunday or maybe before. And just all my love. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I love you guys. Bye now.